Everyone. It's Pam Gomez here in Nassau, Bahamas with Tech Talk Live. Today, I have with me a special guest, and some of you know her already. I've only had the privilege of meeting her about a week ago, and she rocks. My special guest today is Terry Johnson. She's a digital marketer. Hi, Terry.
Hi, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Terry, I've only recently met you, but I'm so happy to learn all about you and what you do. Please tell my listening audience a bit about yourself.
Well, let me tell you all of the things that I do. I'm a digital marketing strategist. I work with small businesses here in New York. I'm starting to move into online. So what I do is I do web development, I do SEO, I do email marketing, and my biggest thing is social media. I have a background in training in web development. I work with advertising agencies. I work with the federal government, and I've just done it all. So right now I'm taking all the things that I know, putting them into a ball and giving everybody the knowledge that I have. So hopefully you will enjoy the show today and learn something new.
Oh, Terry, you don't know how happy I am that you've accepted this invitation. Um, myself, I'm a small business owner. I have this new YouTube channel with only 25 subscribers, and I'm looking to build my business to the point where I can actually leave that 9 to 5. So digital marketing is just what I need to know. And I'd also like to know a bit of techniques, in particular, live streaming. How can it help my business or a small person's business? So let's get right into it. Tell us, what do you recommend for small businesses and digital marketing?
Well, let's talk a little bit about live, what it is. Live streaming is simply that you're going live online. You can use a mobile device. You can use a desktop computer with a webcam. Now, the thing is, you have to know what is your end goal. If you're a small business and you want to, say, grow your audience, or you want to have more people know about your business, live streaming is the best way to do it, because you're going to be talking about yourself. You're going to be broadcasting yourself and your business. It's going to be a one-to-one connection, or maybe a one-to-many, depending on the platform that you use. So I always recommend to my clients and anybody I talk about, live streaming is the way right now to get attention online, because you need the attention before you can get people to connect with your business. They have to know you. So live streaming is the best way.
Wow. There's so many persons out there now, so many entrepreneurs who are not using live streaming. I've only started about a year ago, and I knew about a show that you were involved in, which was or is the Biz Chicks, and we were over on another platform that's no longer existent, and I'm reluctant to call the name, but it's Blab. It was a platform that we all loved, and we interacted very well there. You met wonderful people from all over the world, but it went away. And I have a slide made up. My next slide shows how many platforms, and this is not even a complete list, there are out there. There's Facebook Live, there's Periscope, there's Snapchat, there's Instagram, Busker, YouNow. Well, I should say there was Huzzah. There's Zoom, Fire Talk, Be Live, Smile Time, Snippet TV, Appear.in, and there's just one that I learned, another one I learned about just last evening. Someone mentioned to me, beginning with C. Cam, don't remember. Anyway, but Terry, what I really wanted to ask you is, how stable are these platforms?
Well, see, that's the key. I would say, because we've had some shakeout as recently as a couple of days ago with one of the live streaming platform, Huzzah. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but a lot of I'll say big people as far as Social Media Examiner was doing their weekly live stream show on Huzzah, and Huzzah was just not bought but acquired by Kickstarter as their live platform for Kickstarter users. So they put out an announcement, I think it was Thursday, that they are no longer going to be a standalone product where you can use it to go live. You'd have to, use it as a Kickstarter user. So that left people like Social Media Examiner, another gentleman, Mitch Jackson, who does a live show there. They have to now scramble to find a new home to broadcast their live show from. So,
Jerry, I totally agree. I don't mean to cut you off there, but a very dear friend of mine is also affected, and I'm sure you must have known or know her, Miss Eileen. Miss Eileen Speaks, basic blog tips, and Eileen has a wonderful show that she does on Huzzah. And my heart just aches because now she has to find another platform. And I was trying to help her out, suggesting a couple platforms. But not all platforms have all of the features that we look for. And one of the features that Eileen and I use a great deal, that is screen share.
Right.
So what platform are you leaning towards now?
Well, see, this is the thing about me. I really don't, well, I will share. I'm more of a technical person, so I actually use a product that is kind of like Wirecast, where you get to control things behind the scene. I don't recommend it for beginners. What I recommend for beginners is because you have to get used to talking live, talking live and thinking and doing things. I always say just go live with your phone. Just do a couple of live streams on Facebook or Periscope. Get comfortable first, and then you can decide, well, I need to bring some on like we're doing an interview show now. I wouldn't say start out with that, because when you're doing a two-person interview, you have to think about what you're saying. You have to listen to the person that's talking, and it's confusing and overwhelming for a beginner. So just get on, go to Facebook, just click the live button and talk. Go to Periscope, click the live button and talk. Go to Twitter, if you use Twitter, do Twitter live and talk. Get used to talking first. And then you can go into, okay, I want to do a two-person interview. I want to do screen share. It takes a lot for your mind to process. And you want to get comfortable on camera first. That's the number one thing. Get comfortable first. Then you can progress to everything that you need to do.
All right, let's just say there's an entrepreneur out there who has done Periscope, who has done Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and they want a platform that they want to settle in on. Do you recommend that they go with a paid version, the lower level of the paid version, or stay with the free version?
I always say start out with free, because you don't know if you're comfortable talking live, and you don't know if you're comfortable using that particular platform. So there's a lot of these live streaming platforms, they give you a free trial. So I always say my mantra business-wise is always use free. It's not about being cheap or not wanting to spend the money. You don't know if it works for your business strategy. You have to use it first and then see, well, I like the bells and whistles on this platform versus the other one. And then once you find out you like it, then you go ahead and you pay the basic price. I would never say jump to the premium. Always start with the free and then go to the next level, which is basic. And then if you're comfortable and you love it, then you can say, well, I'm going to use this and I need more people, because these live streaming platforms, they're based on the number of viewers that are coming to you. So some of them start out with 25 or less is a tiered price. 50 or more is a higher tier price. So some of these platforms, they can be $60, $70 a month. Now you have to think about that if you're a solopreneur, or if you have a business and you have a larger business with a budget, you may be able to afford those things. But always use the levels, the platform levels.
Okay. Now, looking back at our live streaming platform list, let's go through and talk about a couple of them and their features and the advantages and disadvantages, if we could. And I'd like to start with Facebook Live. And I'd like to also say here that for me, I feel when I go live on Facebook, I get the most viewers. And for me, that's a plus. I want the viewers and I want to be able to, you know, say, go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tech Talk Live, and hope and pray that they do follow me over there. Which,
right.
between not comparing, but what features do you like most about Facebook Live?
What I like about Facebook Live is the sheer number of viewers. Facebook is the largest social media app there is. There's almost 1.5 billion users, I believe. So you have a bigger pool of people to pull from when you are going live and you're writing your text for your posts, and Facebook determines, what your information is when you're typing the title and who to show it to. So the more times you go live on Facebook, the better it is for the algorithm, which is the software that Facebook uses to determine who to show it to. Also, when you do Facebook Live, tell people to, if you think this information is going to benefit someone, always share this broadcast or share this show to your feed or your page. Share it out. Always ask them to share it out.
Great tip, Terry. That's exactly what I would love for my viewers to do. Share it out.
Yes.
Tell a friend.
Yes.
Please come on over to my YouTube channel and subscribe.
And you know what? Some people have a thing about asking people to do stuff. You must tell them what to do. You can't assume that they're going to go to your website. If you want them to go to your website, and say at the end of the show or in the middle or whenever, you say, "Oh, thanks for watching the show. If you like the information that I spoke about that was on the show, please go to my website at whatever.com or whatever the URL is. Or if you want people to join your Facebook group or go to your Facebook page, tell them exactly what to do. Tell them what to do."
Question for you, Terry, right there. Do you have a website or do you have a website?
Yes.
Would you mind sharing it with our viewers?
Sure. It's terryjohnson.online. That's my website. And on Facebook, I am Terry Johnson Online. Just type in Terry Johnson Online. Now, this is the thing with Twitter. I was on Twitter for a long time, and I have another handle on Twitter. It's WebGirlTJ. And I'm glad you mentioned this, because this is one of the things when you're starting out online and you need to brand yourself as far as social media and a website. When you get the idea to go online with your business and you have an idea, go right straight and get the username on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you're going to be, because when you decide I'm going to do my website first, and then you go and you try to get your username on these social media accounts, and you'll find that it's not available, and you'll have to scramble and think of something else. So now that I'm changing my branding, I go to Twitter and I can't have the username that I want because someone else has it. So you have to kind of think out of the box and go, well, okay, do I want to keep my old branding on Twitter and start all over again with something that doesn't match the Terry Johnson Online or whatever the name you pick? So I always tell people, don't do your website first. Don't do your business cards first. Get on social media, sign up for the account, and get your name locked down.
Well, Terry, I have another issue that's similar to that, but my own is I have two businesses, and as a result, I have two online names. Oh Natural Aromatherapy was my first love. I love essential oils. I love teaching persons about essential oils. And I started a website, ohnaturalaromatherapy.com.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have that Twitter page. I have that Periscope. I have that on LinkedIn and several other platforms. But the actual Twitter name is Oh Natural Aroma.
Right.
Now, with the second business, which is all about technology, and here we are with Tech Talk Live, my Twitter handle is Tech Talk Live 1.
Mm-hmm.
And my my website is techtalklive242.com because I could not get Tech Talk Live 1. It was not available.
Right.
So the two personas that I have them. They're different. They're very different.
But that's what I was just discussing. When you decided to do that and you said, well, oh, I can't have this domain name because someone else has it, or I can't have this username on Twitter because someone else has it. I go to create a business Facebook page, someone has it. So you have to think, well, do I want to have people, and this is a thing you can do. You can say, well, you can send people to one thing. Like when you ask me, where are you online? I can say, well, go to my website. And if you go to my website, then you'll see I'll have a menu that says, okay, this is where you find me on Facebook. You can do that. Okay. You can just direct people to one place, and that will kind of solve the problem. But like I said, once it's getting to the point where you can't find a domain name that you like, and you've decided on this name, and you go to register the domain name and it's not available, and it throws you for a loop, and you have to go, well, all right, I've got to re-examine what my branding is going to be. You know, do I want to hang it off of this domain and then just tell people to go there and find me other places? So that's one of the things you can do. You can do that. Now, as far as your domain, you said what did you say?
Tech Talk Live 242, which is my area code.
Right. So you could just tell whenever, if you go in an interview or your podcast or you're online or speaking, just tell people to go there. And when you go there, you can say, oh, you want to find me on Twitter? I'm so-and-so on Twitter, and have a link. Oh, you want to find me on Instagram? I'm so-and-so on Instagram, and have the link. You can do, that's a workaround. You can do that.
I'm so happy you said that, because I did put my social links on my website.
Yeah, so that's a workaround.
Yeah, and I hope other entrepreneurs are doing the same thing. Always put your social links on your website.
Always.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, well, I got my start in Periscope, and that was, for me, a godsend. A very dear friend, Tina, oh my gosh, what is Tina's last name? I can't remember. Oh my gosh. Well, Tina told me about this, and she had just introduced it in her business. And I've developed a regular schedule. Every morning at 8 a.m. I did a Periscope about aromatherapy and mantras and meditation.
Yeah.
And that worked well. I built up a following on Periscope, but then I wanted more. So I started looking, and then I found Blab. What are your thoughts of Periscope for starters?
For someone who's starting out brand new and they haven't used Periscope is great. I recommend Periscope because, like I said earlier in the show, you want to get used to speaking to a camera, and it's a hard thing for some people because they need a face to look at. But if you're doing it like we're doing it now, I'm looking at you and we're talking. But if I'm doing Periscope, like I have Periscope over here, I have to remember it's people behind the camera. So that's a thing that you need to practice first, and Periscope is great for it. Facebook is good for it too. Both of those are good. And now I keep forgetting about Instagram. Instagram now has a live feature. You may want to use that because it doesn't stick around. When you do Instagram live, it's right in the moment and it disappears. So it's great for those people that are like, oh, I'm afraid of, what to say or how I look, or, they got that nervous feature. So they can use Instagram live.
I know all too well.
Right. Do a 2-minute, 3-minute, hi, I'm so-and-so, and this is what I do, and just talk. And once you end the broadcast, it's gone. It's not saved. It's not saved. Now, Periscope, you can do the same thing, but you can delete it if you feel uncomfortable with the show or what you said, or oh, I made a mistake. You can delete it after you're done. Same thing with Facebook. You can always delete them. But Instagram, has just come out with the Instagram Live, which is great. That I would say that would be perfect for beginners because it's not saved.
I love
and
Instagram.
It gets rid of the stress of, oh my God, you know, I said something wrong or I did something wrong. And this is the good thing about doing live streaming. You know, this is not TV. This is not, we have a scripted show. This is not a newscast. So when you see a mistake on TV, you go, oh, you never see that. But with live streaming, we make mistakes. Last time we did this show, we had some errors. You know, and we on the Biz Chicks, we have tech glitches, and we say, and this is what we say, oh, we're gonna pivot. Just pivot. Just move into another direction. We are people talking, having a conversation. We just happen to not be in the same location. You're in the Bahamas, I'm in New York. You know, whoever your guest is, they're gonna be all around the globe.
Yes, ma'am.
So
yes, ma'am.
But it's still a conversation. It's still a conversation with people.
Yes.
So that's my take on it. That's my take.
All right. I'm loving this conversation, Terry. Now, just to go through a few of other live streaming platforms, so just briefly mention Snapchat. I've used it, but only briefly, and I didn't feel I was getting the traction. So then I moved on to Instagram Live, and now I'm doing shows on Busker and YouNow. Have you tried those platforms?
I have tried. Busker, I have not gone live, but I've downloaded the app and used it. Snapchat, I do have the app. I haven't used it in a while. Each of these platforms, and I'll start with Snapchat, it's not a place for a beginner or someone who doesn't have a following, because it's hard to grow a following with Snapchat. You have to already have an audience. Right. Say on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or you tell them, I'm on Snapchat. Go in and you put the code up. You can put, a lot of people put the Snapchat code as their photo in Twitter, or they'll put pin a post at the top of Twitter saying, this is where I am on Snapchat. And they put the code, and if you know how to use Snapchat, you use the code to connect with them. Because with Snapchat, you may go search for someone if they're, like I'm WebGirl TJ on Twitter, but I'm something else on Snapchat. And if you go to Snapchat and search for me as my Twitter handle, it's not going to bring up anything. So that's where Snapchat is different from all the others. Totally. Now, Busker, Busker, I haven't used it. I haven't gone, broadcasting on it, but I've used it and seen other people's broadcasts. It works like Periscope. It has an extra factor where you can get tips from the audience. So that's why it's called Busker, because, the meaning of Busker is, you see people on the street that can perform, especially in New York. We have people that perform in the subway, in the street all the time. And they used to have a hat. We would put money in. Some still do. So that's called busking. That's where the name of the app came from. So you're performing on Busker with a hat in the form of a virtual hat. Busker lets you give a tip in a dollar amount. Actually,
I'm on Busker and I have 100 and actually I have 330 followers now. I'm very proud of it. But the one thing I haven't gotten is the tips for giving the advice and how to use essential oils. So that part of my Busker has not been explored yet or activated, because I haven't been getting it.
I'm glad that you brought this up, that you're not getting anything from Busker, because this is another part of deciding where to broadcast. Where is your audience? Now, your audience of aromatherapy people, they're probably not on Busker. They probably don't know anything about Busker. So I would say that's one of the apps you can, if you want to keep it for fun, you can keep it for fun. But your audience would probably be more Pinterest or Periscope and Facebook, of course. So if and you don't want to get discouraged when you go on an app like Busker and say, well, nobody's following, nobody's interacting with that. Your audience isn't there. So you need to first go where your audience is.
What puzzles me is I have 330 followers, but they are not always interacting. They would have been there over the period of 6 months or a year that I've been on the app.
Right. Well, see, this is what I'm saying, that especially with people that are beginning to do live streaming and they are deciding where to go. The safe spots that you're going to get more engagement is going to be Facebook because of the sheer number of users. Facebook, 1.5 billion people. There's going to be somebody there that wants to see your live stream, know what your business is about. So that's where you want to stay. You can do like I said, Instagram has a live. You may want to also investigate Instagram. Now, Pinterest, it doesn't do any live yet, but I think Pinterest will probably do a live.
Actually, I have done the Instagram.
Okay.
I'm finding that I get the likes, I get the followers. I have now 461, and that's on my own natural aromatherapy brand.
Yeah.
And persons, I think what's attracting them more is the visual aid. I have a pattern going on my site.
Oh, I love that. You did that perfectly.
I thank you. What I did, I created an online journal. So I started a weight and get fit plan. And I made this Instagram page my journal. So all white spots are not actually white spots. There's notes there about what I did on that day, what I ate, what I drank, and what I recommend. I did a 30-day detox, and I had persons actually following me on Instagram, and we did the detox together. It was wonderful. There was lovely advice shared between persons I didn't even know, persons I just met. It was awesome, and I plan to do it again in the near future.
Well, see, I love that you say that, because this is the thing you want to have when you're doing live streaming. It's not about the numbers. Numbers are great. It's a visual representation of, okay, I have this many followers, but are they engaging? Like you said, you had a few people engage with you and it felt great and you want to do it again. That's the feeling you want to have. I went online, I did live streaming. I had a few people on, they interacted, they asked questions, they seemed to like what I had to say, and it felt great, and I want to do it again. So that's the thing that's going to keep you doing live stream, not the fact that I have 500 followers, but all 500 didn't come into my live stream and I'm so upset. No, because that's going to make you not want to do it again, especially as a beginner. So you want to have a few people come on. It's great to have a few people come on and stay in the live stream, listen to what you have to say, type in a comment or a question, and then you end it and you get a good feeling from it. That's the whole essence of it.
Terry,
that's how I feel about it.
This has been such a great conversation. I'm having so much fun, and I'm just realizing the time is all but gone. It's now.
Oh my God!
Yes, it's 25 minutes at least into this conversation.
I know.
And we've only done half of my PowerPoint list of live streaming platforms. But I wanted to say we could do a part two. Oh,
part two whenever you want. We could go into the rest of the list.
I would love to do that.
We can do part two.
Oh, thank you so much. This is so interesting. And the last live streaming platform I had mentioned on here was Huzzah, and we already mentioned that one way, but there's something important that I want to talk about, and that is gear. Earlier on, you mentioned that starters, we only needed to have our phone, but right. I recommend some webcams. I highly recommend a couple of them for those persons who are ready to invest a little money and purchase one. Even though we know the desktop cameras, they work, but I find that if you have that external webcam, it just puts your photos and your videos to one level above.
You're absolutely right. And I'm sorry to interrupt, but just one thing about the smartphone. It's good to use the smartphone, but you may also want to get an inexpensive lavalier mic. A lavalier mic is just a lapel mic that clips on. And actually, I'm wearing one now. And it brings the sound quality just a little bit better from the smartphone, especially if you're outside. So the smartphone, and get a really inexpensive lavalier mic for like 20. You can get one for $20 off of Amazon.
All of these items that we're mentioning here today can be found on my Tech Talk Live 242.com website. Thank you for that, Terry. And I want to say a special shout out to Alfredo, who was my producer in the background. Thank you, Alfredo. This has been a wonderful show, Terry. And believe me, I will be calling you again. Part 2 is definitely in our future. And for those of you who are listening, Terry has a wealth of information. And like she said earlier, you can find her at, Terry, would you tell us your website again?
Website is terryjohnson.online. terryjohnson.online. That's where you find it.
Thank you, Terry. For those of you watching the replay, please, if you like this video, please feel free to hit the thumbs up and subscribe for future uploads from Tech Talk Live. I'm Pam Gomez, your host for today. Find me on Twitter at Tech Talk Live 1, on Facebook, Pam Gomez. Have a great day wherever you are, and keep... I forgot my thought.
That's okay. It's live. That's what happened. And we get to laugh about it.
Continue to succeed with technology. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.